Travel across town here to the east side of Newcastle to meet up with my long-term friend, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and one of the UK's top MMA coaches, Pete Irving. He's going to show us just how good Khabib was in UFC 254 and break down the techniques that got him to that submission victory.
He's tapping. It looks like he's tapped. Khabib Nurmagomedov! The eagle rises again. He chokes Justin Gaethje to sleep.
So I'm here with Pete Irving, who's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt with a particular emphasis on Jiu-Jitsu for MMA, and that makes Pete perfect for the analysis of this technique.
So everybody loves the chess analogy with Jiu-Jitsu, right? So this is the checkmate. When you're positioned between two bad options, if you move this way, you're done. If you move this way, you're done. So that's what Khabib did with the threat of the kata, the arm lock, and the triangle.
Yeah. So we're going to move through that sequence and break each one down in 10.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. In the last video, it was all about striking. This video is all about grappling. Obviously, the ways that we're going to train this are completely different, and it's the sequence and the masterful way in which Khabib puts together, as people calls it, a chain attack, is what's key in this particular fight.
Okay, so when he arrived at the mount, you already had the kata. So I don't want to let this be loose here. See, there's a gap. There's a gap in my elbow if my arm is not far enough through. So I'm going to punch it through with my forearm flat to the mat. So my bicep is closing that side here. Now here, can you see there's a gap here? That's what I need to close. I need to get pressure on that shoulder here. So I'm going to hook my chin over here and get that squeeze. There's a lot of different grips people use for finishing this. Marcelo Garcia goes like so. You can see some guys go here and grab their elbows. That gives you a lot of pressure here for your squeeze. A lot of nice ways to do that. But traditionally, when a guy's really putting up a fight, oftentimes that's where guys slide off to the side. So sometimes guys will grab their legs when you do that, but here to alleviate the pressure from the mount, Gaethje grabbed his hands and pushed down to try to open up those arteries again. So let's see what happens when you do that. So. Yeah, see, now it's hard for me to put that pressure across here, driving this way. So what Khabib did was slide his knee up here. You see there's no space here? And there, now Gaethje pulled out to body lock him. There, now I'm a little bit narrow here. Maybe I could give up a bridge. So this is where Khabib pulled this out and kept the head here. So now you feel there I'm a little bit on your stomach. It's not so bad. When he positioned himself like this, right, it's pushing all there. Now there, you try to keep your chin out. It's a nightmare. So when he pushed the hand in here, that's where Gaethje overreacted a little bit. Let him trap this. I want to step over here. Now I feel this coming. So I release the head, but there with the overhook here, you already start to feel the arm lock, right? Yeah. So how are you going to relieve the pressure from the arm lock? You got to roll up on top of me, right? Bridge me here. Whoop. Yeah, that's the danger. That's where the triangle can pop out.
Okay, so one of the things that you mentioned early on, but I couldn't really see it much from the bottom, was the point about removing all the space on the head and arm. Now, usually if I was attempting a head and arm finish, I'd be transitioning almost instantly to side control. As soon as I got this locked down, I'd be trying to go to side control. But I could tell you I would have tapped from the mount there. Yeah. So you mentioned how you push this through. You're pulling the head up.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're pulling the head up.
Want that space to punch.
And punching this through.
Yeah.
So we're literally grabbing the back of the head up, punch this through. Yeah. Hard.
That's right.
And we go into then take this, which obviously with a dummy this is a little difficult. Yeah. But if I just take it here.
Well, you can do this. There's loads and loads of different grips for the Kaikitami. There's loads of different schools that preach different things. I've got a couple that I prefer, and then I've got some other guys that use different grips and they kill with it. So there's a bunch of different ways. The one that I don't like so much is this old school Mataleo. Okay. The thing is, what you got to consider with the head and arm choke is that it's a triangle. So I want the pressure going here across the arteries. This is the same as with the triangle from the legs. Yeah. A lot of guys that pull the head down, but the purpose of pulling the head down is to drive the shoulder further in. So the pressure needs to go this way. The knees need to squeeze together. The pressure doesn't want to go vertically, it wants to go horizontally. So that's one of the reasons why I want this space away here by punching this in. Now me, the grip that I prefer the most actually, is to go to the elbows. So when I grab both my elbows together, that gives me the best possible squeeze this direction. Right. When guys go off to the side, right, you see this is a little bit unstable, I can't post. So if I gripped up here and the guy bridges, I need to take my hand away to post. So this is one of the reasons why guys will switch off. So they'll come off to the side here, go knee on belly, and then kind of sink on down. So here when I go side control there, it lets me get my hips really, really low so that I can increase that squeeze here. Now you see like Marcel Garcia, like pulling in this way, so I get more pressure going here. But all the grips can work. It's really a question of personal preference.
So the second part, we're already on this head line.
Yeah.
So in here, and the arm comes up.
What, the defense? Yeah. Okay, so that's what created the space for the knee to come up. So if you've got me mounted, I'm going to learn in my early days of jiu-jitsu class to keep my elbows in to stop you climbing up the body. But the head and arm choke, that obliged them to bring the hands up here to try to create space. Now that's okay, but you see when you came up here, that's escape space there. That's where the guy can get underneath, start popping out the back door.
Let's see it again.
So let's see that ability to sweep the leg around without creating much space here.
Yeah.
That's the kind of motion that I want here, and that's going to let me put a lot of pressure down.
Motion.
Yeah. So that knee comes high up to the head, so my knee's coming underneath the head and nudging it up here, making it uncomfortable, making it hard from the bridge. And there, if you see when Gaethje was getting submitted by Khabib, his knee and his foot were practically touching. That was really, really tight.
Wow, yeah.
So you see where my weight is here. None of my weight's on the mat. All of Khabib's weight was going to be down right on Gaethje's ribs, on his diaphragm, pushing all the air out of his body. So we talked before saying there was 3 techniques in the chain, 3 finishing techniques, the submissions. But the mount itself is a punishing technique. You don't want the mount just to have options for yourself. You want the mount to break the guy. A real good mount. If you've been pinned by a guy with a really good mount, you just want to tap for that.
Now when we come to the triangle.
Yeah.
So we've taken. So the difference here, is he's bringing. So it's the other leg, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He came up with the right knee came up to the head. So you see that now you're struggling for space. You're going to end up kind of like sitting like this.
So you bring this up.
That's right.
And starting to bring
Perfect.
this.
Yeah. You see, there's no space here.
And then he takes this.
So sweep your heel, so it's almost touching your knee. So you're making a triangle already.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure. When you feel that, if you guys drill that at home, or in your gym, you're gonna feel it's so hard to take a breath.
The guy. So this is the arm that I have here.
You was attacking this one,
yeah.
So he stepped over the arm. He let Gaethje have it back. So that kind of over defending it there, he was just able to push the hand onto the body.
Yeah. And then he bridges this way.
So yeah, he rolled this way. So Gaethje wanted to relieve the pressure that was on this arm. So he will bring this leg right over the arm there. So you're right on the neck.
Yeah.
Now so Gaethje rolled that a ways. He rolled him here, which rolled him straight into the triangle. That's right.
Of course.
That's right. So that's how he got the angle there, by grabbing the leg as Gaethje posted up, thinking that he maybe could slam him as a last ditch attempt to escape.
Phenomenal. So these 3 techniques done right at the right time, under pressure, this is what made that technique special.
Plus the mount, plus that disgusting sick pressure that he got from the mount.
Which I felt about 5 minutes ago, by the way. So on the video of the fight, you can clearly see that Gaethje taps twice before finally actually going unconscious. I'm really hoping that Pete realizes when I tap here, because just in drilling this, that was hell.
Pointing up to the sky. You see how the triangle is smaller. Yeah, that's it. Now stand up for me, Alex, please. Whoa, there, our angle is not perfect.
Nice. Fucking years of this.